Unicorns Talk is a weekly podcast where we discuss the ups and downs of the human experience, from personal growth to romantic relationships and everything in between. This show is for life livers, life lovers, and life enhancers. My name is Latrice Sampson Richards, your life enhancement coach, and together we're going to laugh, love, and learn to maneuver all of life's little messes. Let's go. Hey everybody, you are tuned in to episode 22 of Unicorns Talk podcast. My name is Latrice Sampson Richards. I am a licensed professional counselor and a certified life purpose and relationship coach for Black women who are ready to heal from their past and build the future that they deserve. And I am super duper excited about this new year. 2018 is like starting off very, very well for me. So happy new year to everybody out there. I hope that everything is going exactly the way that you want it to go. I know I did not get a chance to talk to y'all last week, and I apologize for that. I just could not get it together. I just have been working so hard, y'all, for the last 2 weeks, really like the last 3 to 4 weeks, just to try to get everything, like get all my ducks in a row and everything like that. And so I am going to try my hardest to stay on target and make sure that I maximize my 2018. I say this all the time, but I really do believe that my purpose in life is to help you get to your purpose in life. And so I've been working real hard on how to make sure that that happens for you. And I'll give y'all more information about that later on. But we're back. It is 2018. Let me tell you, I have so much in store for 2018 for Unicorns Talk podcast. We're going to grow this thing, and it's going to be like we are going to grow. Like this is going to be an amazing year for us. I'm claiming it. Got to claim that in the name, okay? In the name. So I have a really good show for y'all planned today. Today's topic is New Year, New You. And so, we're really going to focus on, this is the time of year where everybody is like making their New Year's resolutions and things like that. And so I really want to help you to try to be as successful as that with that as possible. Even though I don't do New Year's resolutions, I think I told y'all this before. I don't do New Year's resolutions because nobody keeps a freaking New Year's resolution. But I do have goals that I make for every single year. And so I definitely, think that it's important to have a plan. And so I want to give you some tips and some steps to help you to be able to create that plan, but more importantly, to be able to stick to that plan and be successful as you move throughout the year. Okay, so today we are talking about New Year, New You, and my Empower Your Vision Masterclass starts tonight. Today is Wednesday, so my Empower Your Vision Masterclass starts tonight, and I'm really looking forward to being able to help as many people as possible. Registration is still open. You still have time to register for that for a little while longer, and I'll give you more information on that later on in the show. But let's go ahead and get started. So, I really believe that before you can build the life that you want, you have to first acknowledge and make peace with the life that you've already had. Okay. And so, I think a lot of times for many of us, it's difficult to be able to do that because we feel like it's a pity party. I have a Facebook group, and inside of my Facebook group, the women, we talk about making changes and we talk about our dreams. We talk about the struggles that we encounter in trying to get to the next level in our lives, trying to heal, trying to grow, trying to manifest. And so I had one of the ladies that sent me a private message, and she was saying, talking to me about the issues and the struggles that she's having. And she was saying, I was telling her, you have to acknowledge those things. And she said, well, I just don't want to feel like I'm throwing a pity party for myself or like I'm using it for an excuse. And what I said to her is what I say to anybody that says something to me along those lines. It is not an excuse. It's just an explanation. And we have to look at it as that. Excuses allow us to remain where we are. Excuses give us a reason to not have to try or a reason to not have to move forward. An explanation gives us the information that we need in order to move forward. All right. So acknowledging your experiences, acknowledging with the things, the traumatic events and experiences that you had in your past, it's not throwing yourself a pity party, and it's not choosing to be miserable or not moving on. Like, that's not what it is. It is the first step in making peace with the life that you had so that you can move on from it, and really not move on in the sense of, girl, you need to just get over it, but move on from the place of actual healing. You know what I'm saying? So that you can continue to grow in your life. You can continue to experience, or you can replace those negative experiences with more positive ones. All right. So before you can build the life you want, you have to acknowledge and make peace with the life that you've already had. And so today I want to talk more about what making peace with your past really looks like. Okay. And so I'm going to give you, how many do I have here? I think I have three steps or three components of making peace with your past. Okay. And so this is really some foundational information. In the Empower Your Vision Masterclass, that's where we are really going to dig in, and I'm going to give you guidelines and step by steps on how to actually make these things happen. This is really just, some foundational information to kind of let you know, like, so you can start wrapping your head around the idea that this needs to happen, all right? Because you do have to wrap your head around the idea that this needs to happen, all right? Because you've been spending a long time, a whole lot of time, trying to not deal with these things and trying to move on, and it's not working for you anymore, okay? So this is what has to happen in order for you to be able to move on from and make peace with your past, all right? So the first thing is that you have to be able to validate your own experiences. Validate your own experiences, all right? A lot of times we look for validation from the outside world, okay? And in looking for that validation from the outside world, we never really get an opportunity to experience satisfaction, or it does not come in a time frame that is conducive to our own healing and manifestation. And so, what I mean by that is that when someone has wronged us, we feel this urge, or we feel a need, I think I want to call it. We feel a need to have that person acknowledge the wrong that they have done to us, right? Or to acknowledge the impact that it has had or that they have had on our lives, okay? And we tend to get stuck in this place because we're waiting for them to say, you know what, I was wrong, I fucked over you, I was out of line, and I apologize for that. And that, for many of us, sadly, that day will never come. And so if your healing and your ability to move past something is contingent upon somebody who is disconnected from themselves, and probably at this point disconnected from the experience or the action that they made at that time, if your healing is contingent upon that person acknowledging to you and giving you the validation that you need about the experience that they put you through, then your healing comes to a complete halt. It's never going to happen. Okay? And then you're stuck in this place where you can't move on. You can't find new relationships. You can't find true happiness, true joy, because you're still waiting on them. You're still waiting on them to give you the validation that you need. Meanwhile, they done moved on. They living their life, whatever that looks like for them. Okay? So we have to be able to give ourselves the validation that we need for our own experiences. You know what happened in your life. You know what that experience was. You know what impact that experience had on your life. And that is all that matters. You don't need other people to validate your experience. Okay? Now, don't get me wrong, it is important as human beings, it is important for us to feel a sense of love and belonging or to feel a sense of validation. So I'm not saying that you are wrong for having the urge or the need for that validation. But what I am saying is that in order for you to be able to move on, you cannot stop your life waiting for that validation. And for a lot of us, that's what's happening. And for, I think, even more of us, we don't even realize that that's what's happening. We're not even aware that our lives have come to a complete halt. Or if we are aware that our lives have come to a complete halt, we're not aware that it is as a result of that experience and the lack of validation. The lack of validation from the outside world. Okay? So learn to pat yourself on the back. Learn how to soothe yourself. Learn how to discipline yourself accordingly. Okay? Learn how to validate your own experiences because your happiness cannot be contingent upon the wishes and whims of others. All right? Nobody is responsible for your happiness but you. And so at some point you have to take a proactive role in your own healing. And I think a big part of that is validating your own experiences. Okay? All right, the second piece of this puzzle is actually, it's going to sound very, very cliche. I feel like y'all already know what I'm about to say, but I'm going to say it anyway, and I'm going to hope that maybe I say it or explain it in a way that's different than you've heard it before and makes it a little bit easier for you to actually consider doing it this time. Okay. The second piece of this puzzle is forgive yourself and forgive others. Okay. I know you're rolling your eyes. I get it. I understand. How many times have you heard somebody say, you got to forgive, you got to forgive? But what I'm saying though is that forgiveness is for you. Okay? Forgiveness is for you. In my opinion, forgiveness is really relieving yourself of the responsibility of holding on to past hurts, to holding on to, past relationships that did not serve you, the people who did not mean you well, the mistakes that you made in the past, okay? Forgive yourself for the bad choices that you made romantically, financially, parent wise, in your parenting decisions. Forgive yourself for those things. Relieve yourself from the responsibility of holding on to that. All right? Forgive your exes for hurting you because they were in their own place of hurt. All right. Forgive yourself for that. Forgive them for that. Relieve yourself of the duty of holding on to that pain, holding on to that anger, that embarrassment. Okay. Forgive your parents for not providing for you emotionally. Forgive your parents for not providing for you physically or financially or even spiritually. Relieve yourself of holding on the burden of how I grew up. Well, what I'm used to was. That's not how it was in my household growing up. Acknowledge it. It's definitely okay. And it's necessary to acknowledge it. But you don't have to carry that with you everywhere you go for the rest of your life. Forgive it. Forgive them. Forgive that circumstance. Okay? Forgive your abuser for their selfishness, for their callousness, and in their own pursuit of satisfaction or in their own attempt to quiet their demons. Forgive them for that. Relieve yourself of the responsibility of that hatred, okay? You don't have to carry that around with you for the rest of your life. Forgive yourself and forgive others so that your healing can begin, so that you can move on to bigger and better things, all right? The third piece of this puzzle is to figure out the lessons, okay? So I am a silver linings kind of girl. I'm not even gonna lie. I really do believe that there is a lesson in every trial. I also believe that until we identify that lesson and apply it in our lives, we are going to continue to experience that trial over and over. It might be different players or different circumstances, but it's the same basic experience, okay? And so I think that you have the responsibility to identify what the lesson is and to apply it to your life moving forward. That is growth. That's what growth looks like in real life. Okay? It's taking lessons from our experiences and implementing those lessons moving forward. You may have to search a little harder for some lessons than others, especially depending on how traumatic the experience was for you. All right. The more traumatic the experience, the much more difficult it's going to be for you to identify the lesson. Because basically, what I'm asking you to do, or what I'm saying that you need to do, is to go back to that dark, dark, dreary period of your life and try to find something positive to come out of it. Okay. And for many of us, we cannot even fathom any type of positivity or light having come from those experiences, okay? And so it's going to require you to have an open mind. It's going to require you to be open to the idea of finding something, but it's also going to require determination on your part. You have to be determined to move past that experience. You have to be in a place where you like, you know what? I am tired of being in this place. I am tired of being in this headspace. I'm tired of being affected by this experience and I am ready to move on. And so if this is what I have to do in order to move on, so be it. And that's how you really are able to dig in and try to find that lesson. Okay. It's not enough for you to just acknowledge that this experience happened to you, right? The validation part of it, or the validating your own experiences. It's not enough for you to just acknowledge it. It's not enough for you to just relieve yourself of the responsibility of carrying it. Okay. You also have to figure out the now what. Okay. So yes, it happened. Yes, I'm making a decision to move on. Now what? What does that look like in real life? Okay. And that's where these lessons come from. Excuse me, that's where these lessons really make a difference. Okay. What is the lesson and how do I implement it? And again, in the Empower Your Vision masterclass, which is free for all pre-registrants. If you register early, then it's free. Afterwards, you'll have to buy the recording, okay? But I am going to give you the step by step on how, like, what does that look like? What does it look like to find those lessons? What does it look like to move past that, okay? And it's going to have worksheets as well to help you actually move through that process, okay? So that is how you make peace with your past. Oh, I keep forgetting to put my phone on silent, y'all. Um, that is how you make peace with your past, okay? You validate your own experiences, you forgive yourself and others, relieving yourself of the responsibility of holding on to those past hurts, and you figure out what the lessons are and you implement those changes, okay? You implement those changes, all right? Um, so that's all I got for y'all on that. Coming up next is High Five. Okay, this week's high five goes to, well, so I have a couple high fives this week. So I'm super excited. I missed a little bit of time with y'all, and so I'm playing catch up here. So the first high five for this week goes to Essence Magazine. So Essence Magazine is officially once again 100% black owned. Essence Ventures LLC, which is an independent African American owned company, announced on January 3rd that it has acquired Essence Communications from Time Inc. All right. And so this is a really big deal, y'all, because Essence Magazine is, I would say, the premier magazine what's the word that I'm looking for? Publication in Black culture, or trendy Black culture. Essence Magazine has the hearts and ears of Black women across the world, and so I feel like it only makes sense for them to be Black owned, right? For us, by us. And so I'm super excited about this, and I'm, high five to Essence Magazine for making that shift. The founder and chairperson of Essence Ventures said, "We remain committed to leveraging our resources to provide opportunities for other culturally rooted entrepreneurs and businesses that further our culture and create economic opportunities for our communities." And so, high five to that. High five to Essence Magazine. Hopefully one of these days I'm going to be in that number. I love Essence. I love Essence Magazine. I love, the last couple years, Essence has really, they have really done a good job of rebranding themselves, or really it's not even rebranding. I think it's they've done a better job of reaching their target and really putting their target audience first. I felt like for a little while I did feel like they were starting to lose touch with that. But here lately they have done an amazing job of getting back to that. And so high five to Essence Magazine, Essence Ventures, Essence Communications. Yeah, go ahead, y'all. Y'all doing the damn thing. High five to you. I also want to give a high five to Sterling Brown and Oprah Winfrey. So if you don't know, this past weekend was the Golden Globes. I didn't get to watch the show, but I did catch the highlights and things like that. Sterling Brown took home the award for his performance as Randall Pearson on NBC's This Is Us. And so I believe that he took home the award for Best Actor, making him the first African American to receive the award in that category. I think in the history of the show. And correct me if I'm wrong out there for all those fact checkers. Okay. Sterling Brown is so cute, and I love him and his family. And I think that they are an amazing role model for Black love, Black families, just like the whole nine yards. He thanked in his acceptance speech, he thanked his wife, and he promised his children that he would be home in order to take them to school the next morning. And so they are such a cute family. They are an inspirational family. If you haven't checked them out on Instagram, they are super duper cute. And so, high five, Sterling Brown. I love This Is Us. It is one of my favorite shows. And I love, what he was saying in his acceptance speech was, thank you to the writers and to the producers of the show because they wrote in a Black character. Like they wrote a character that could only be played by a Black man. And I think that they have done so in a very heart rich kind of way, and he's an amazing actor. And I think the life that he brings to that character is awesome and amazing. And so high five Sterling Brown. And then also high five to Mama Oprah. I love me some Oprah Winfrey, y'all. If you do not know. I love me some Oprah for real, for real. And so Oprah Winfrey was honored with the Cecil B. DeMille Award. And so during her speech, it's like the speech that has been heard around the world at this point. It has millions of views online across multiple, like the Golden Globes thing has like 10 million views. The one on own.com has like 10 million views. The one on oprahwinfrey.com has like 10 million views. Like, it's ridiculous how many views this video has. But it's not ridiculous. It's actually very understandable. In her speech, she told this story of watching Sidney Poitier win the very same award, the Cecil B. DeMille Award, and how inspiring that was when she was watching it. And she says, quote, "In 1982, Sidney received the Cecil D. DeMille Award right here at the Golden Globes, and it is not lost on me that this moment that excuse me, it is not lost on me that at this moment there is some little girls watching as I become the first black woman to be given the same award," end quote. And so I was just touched by that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I love about Oprah is that, well, one, she's so real and she's so down to earth. And I remember the exact moment that I realized just how real and down to earth Oprah was. I remember I was laying on my sofa one day. I was off work that day. And so I was able to catch the Oprah show, which used to come on at like 3 o'clock my time. Okay. And so I was laying on the sofa and she was doing an episode about couponing and saving money by doing coupons. And so I'm watching the show and Oprah was talking about something about reusing your coupons or using them past the expiration date or something like that, she said. And she said, and I quote, "White people been doing it for years." And the white ladies in her audience just thought that was the funniest thing in the world. And they just all fell out laughing. And I was just mouth open with pride, with astonishment. I was just like, did Oprah really just say white people been doing it for years in front of an audience full of white people? And they loved her and they adored that. And I think that was when I realized, one, that Oprah is a fucking gangster, and that I really need to know her in real life. But then, two, that it's okay to be who I am. Either people are going to love you or people are going to hate you, but you can't not be who you are. And that was a very valuable lesson for me in that moment, because as black women, we are surrounded by the white world, you know what I'm saying? And we have to learn how to kind of straddle that line. And I think it's easy for us to lose ourselves in that straddle, and with that, in that moment, Oprah taught me that you don't have to lose yourself. That people, no matter what color they are, no matter what background they come from, people will, at the end of the day, always appreciate authenticity. And so, if you are being your true, authentic self, you will find your audience, and they will find you charming, and they will love you, and they will love on you, and they will support you until the ends of earth. And so, that was a very valuable lesson for me. And that was like, I think, the moment I fell in love with Oprah Winfrey. Okay. And so I love that she realizes that she has this platform and that she is very intentional about using her platform to help other little brown skinned girls just like her, and that she drops these little gems that help to get us to where we need to be. In her speech, she also highlighted the Me Too movement, which has really come under a lot of flack about, in terms of being a white woman's movement and things like that, being hijacked by white women or cultural appropriation. But she really kind of, I think she put a different perspective on it, and she really put special emphasis on, the everyday women who endure these abuses and this neglect and things like that. And she talked specifically about Reese Taylor, who died a couple weeks ago, And she said, and I quote, "And there's someone else, Reese Taylor, a name I know and I think you should know too." In 1944, Reese Taylor was a young wife and mother walking home from a church service she'd attended in Abbeville, Alabama, when she was abducted by six armed white men, raped, and left blindfolded by the side of the road coming home from church. They threatened to kill her if she ever told anyone, but her story was reported to the NAACP, where a young worker by the name of Rosa Parks became the lead investigator on her case, and together they sought justice. But justice wasn't an option in the era of Jim Crow. The men who tried to destroy her were never persecuted. Reese Taylor died 10 days ago, just shy of her 98th birthday. She lived as we all have lived, too many years in a culture broken by brutally powerful men. For too long, women have not been heard or believed if they dare speak the truth to the power of those men. But their time is up. Their time is up. End quote. And she got a rousing standing ovation, and it was a proud moment for me. I think it was a proud moment for black women. It was a proud moment for white women. It was a proud moment for all women of color. Any woman who has experienced, who knows what that means, right? Like to be under the thumb of brutally powerful men, and who have been silenced. And so I love Oprah. Oprah is fucking amazing, and high five to you, Oprah, for just standing up and always being true to yourself and always being for the culture, but then always being, you know, the sounding board that we need and not being afraid to say what needs to be said. So high five to you, Oprah. High five to Sterling Brown, and high five to Essence Magazine. Okay. That's all that I have for y'all on today's show in terms of announcements. So let me give a shout out to Black Married Fly podcast. Hey, Treb. Hey, Candace. I know y'all listening. So, hey, I recorded an interview with them this week that's going to be coming out next month. And I'm super excited about that. I talked, like we had an amazing conversation. I really love those two. If you have not checked out their podcast, Black Married Fly, make sure you check it out. It's for the millennial marriage, and they are a dynamic duo. I love the chemistry that they have with each other, and I'm really looking forward to sharing my conversation with them with you all. If you remember, I actually already did an interview with Candace Dene for Conversations with the Unicorn, and so this is really kind of this is about the both of them and talking about marriage in general. Okay, so hey y'all, hey. In other news, in other iTunes, iHeartRadio. So Unicorns Talk podcast is now available on iHeartRadio. Yay! And also on YouTube. And so y'all check it out on SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Castbox, Google Play Music, iHeart, YouTube. I mean, anywhere that you could and or would want to listen to a freaking podcast, I am there. Okay. In 2018, I'm definitely going to be doing more interviews. I really love doing the interviews. And according to my statistics, y'all like my interviews too. So I'm definitely going to be doing more interviews. I have some giveaways planned for this year. Definitely going to be doing some live events in the second half of the year. So look out for that. But Unicorns Talk Podcast is growing. We have a Facebook page now, so make sure you check that out. And I'm super excited about just the direction that the podcast is going in. What else? Empower Your Vision Masterclass starts tonight, Wednesday, January 10th, 2018. But you still have time to register. I'm going to put put the link in the bio, or you can check it out on Facebook. It's subscribepage.com/empower your vision. And so I'm really looking forward to that. This is the only way to get it for free is to attend the live recordings of it, and it's going to be done via Facebook, in another closed Facebook group, Empower Your Vision Masterclass. And so you can look for the group on Facebook, and there's a registration link there as well. Tonight is module number 1, which is titled "The Story of Me," which really, like I said, everything that we talked about tonight is a part of. Excuse me, today on the podcast is what module 1 of Empower Your Vision Masterclass is. But it is the nuts and bolts. I will actually be giving you step by steps on how to make those things happen. All right. What else? So I have been working very hard on my new website, latricesampsonrichards.com, and it will be launching this week. And so make sure that you check that out as soon as possible. Sign up for the newsletter. Make sure you stay on top of everything that I have going on. I built this website myself, y'all, and that's not to toot my own horn, but I am very proud of this website. And so definitely check it out. Also, my Facebook group, Trust Village, a safe place for healing and manifestation. We just celebrated. We hit 258 members, which I know sounds like it's not a lot, but it is a lot for me. Okay. I started this group just a few weeks ago, literally just a few weeks ago. And so to have grown that much organically in that amount of time is a really big deal, and we're still growing. Okay. Trust Village is for Black women who are ready to heal from their past so they can build a future that they deserve. I really designed my vision for Trust Village is for it to be a support system of Black women, to be a place of healing, a place of guidance, where you can have direct access to me. We already, just with this 250 members, we literally have women from all over the world. So it's a very diverse group of women. I do weekly live streams inside of the group, and I address a different topic, and you can always recommend topics, things that you would like for me to do. And being a part of the group, you always get first access to events and programs. So you always going to know first, even before my newsletter list knows, my group knows. Okay. And so make sure you check that out. Just look for it on Facebook, Trust Village, a safe place for healing and manifestation, and go ahead and join the group. All right. And then my other blog, I do a blog called The Black Unicorn Project, hence Unicorns Talk. Okay. The blackunicornproject.com is a community movement toward healing and manifestation in the Black community. There's lots of articles. I have some merchandise coming soon. On Mondays on Instagram, we do Mind, Body, Soul Mondays, which is all about giving you tips, tricks, apps, people, whatever, quotes, whatever it is for that week on how to heal your mind, body, and soul, and do whatever it needs to happen in order for you to be okay in that area. On Wednesdays, we do Wealthy Wednesdays, which is about financial management. And we have the 2018 bi-weekly savings challenge on Instagram every Wednesday. So check that out. And the Buy Black review is coming back with a vengeance. It's very well organized this go round, and I'll actually be releasing information on how you can submit your product for a review, and that's really exciting as well. So check it all out, y'all. Make sure that you follow us on social media on Facebook, IG, and Twitter. It's at Unicorns Talk Pod. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, do all of that good stuff. I mean, I appreciate all of the support. I appreciate all of the love. Let's continue to do that. 2018 is a year of growth, people. That is growth. And so we're going to try to make that happen for every person. My goal is everybody that hears my name or hears my voice grows in some way exponentially in 2018. And so we claiming that. We are claiming that. Okay? All right. So that's all I have for y'all today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And until next time, be well. Bye.